the next lesson. We're carrying on with adding fractions today. So I'm just going to recap yesterday's learning. So here are 2 bars and they're split into sevenths. So here, look, we're going to write a sum. So this bar is 1, 2, 3, 4 sevenths, because 4 bars out of 7 are shaded. So 4 sevenths. And then the next bar, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sevenths. So we're adding these 2 fractions together. So remember what I said yesterday, the denominator always stays the same. You do not add the denominator. So the denominator will be 7 because it's out of 7. And then we just add the 2 numerators. So 4 add 6 is 10. So you've got 10 sevenths, okay? So imagine these were 2 cakes and they're split into 7. You've got 4 sevenths left of one cake and 6 sevenths left of another cake. So altogether you've got 10 sevenths. Now, that's the simple part of just adding the fraction. And if you remember yesterday, I said once you've added a fraction, you'll see here you've got an improper fraction where the numerator is bigger than the denominator. So what I then want us to do is to turn this improper fraction into a mixed number where you've got a whole number and you've got a fraction. So first of all, to make a whole, how many parts do we need to have? Well, we need 7 parts, don't we? So if the denominator is 7, then to have a whole, you need to have 7 as the numerator. So how many 7s go into 10? Well, that's 1. So that would be 7 sevenths is 1 whole. And then how many have we got left out of the 10? So if 7 goes into 10 once, how many parts are left? Well, to get from 7 to 10, there are 3 parts left. Okay, and then the denominator stays the same, so it's 7 because it's out of 7. Okay, so let's move on to the next part, just to recap. So here, look, we've got 4 sevenths, 6 sevenths, and 2 sevenths. Now we're going to add all these 3 fractions up, so I'm just going to put add signs in between them. Now, first step is the denominator. It stays the same, it's 7, so the denominator is 7. Second step is to add the numerators. So 4 plus 6 is 10, plus 2 is 12. So we've got 12 sevenths here, and you can see it pictorially here. Okay, so again, imagine you've got 3 cakes and you're adding 4 parts, 6 parts, and 2 parts. That makes 12 parts of the cake, and it was split into sevenths. There's our improper fraction. So the next step is to turn our improper fraction into a mixed number. So to make 1 whole cake, you would need 7 parts out of 7. So how many 7s go into 12? That would be 1. And then once you're at 7, how many parts are left over? Well, we're at 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There are 5 parts left over of the cake, and the denominator stays the same at 7. So 12 sevenths is the same as 1 whole cake and 5 sevenths. And I'll just show you here. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll just group it together. 7 parts make up 1 whole cake. Because remember, 7 sevenths would be 1 whole, 6 sixths would be 1 whole, 5 fifths would be 1 whole. And then how many parts do you have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can't make another whole out of 5 parts. To make another whole, you would need another 7 parts. So that's why there's 1 whole cake, and then there's 5 parts out of 7 left. Okay, just show you another example. So here, you've got 2 ninths plus 8 ninths equals how many ninths? So you're looking for the improper fraction. So here's the picture, 8 ninths and 2 ninths. So the denominator's been done for you, it stays the same. 8 add 2 is 10. So you've got 10 ninths here. Now we're going to turn it into a mixed number fraction. So we want to see if there's any whole numbers here. So what we need to do is, how many 9s fit into 10? Well, 1. I'm just going to show you this pictorially. So we've got one whole cake here, or one whole chocolate bar. So these 8 parts, plus this part here, makes a whole, because imagine that being there. Okay, so 9 goes into 10 once. Then how do you get from 9 to 10? How many parts are left? Well, that's 1. To get from 9 to 10, there's 1 part left, which is that there. And the denominator is 9 because it stays the same. And then here we've got, we'll just do this one, we're looking at sevenths. So we've got 4 sevenths here and 4 sevenths here. Now here, look, they're asking you to make it into a mixed number, so a whole number and a fraction. What I would do on the side, just so that you can convert it into this, is I would just do it as we've been doing it. So I do it as an improper fraction, but it's not asking you to write the improper fraction here, so just do it on the side. So you know your denominator 7, because it's staying the same, and then you're adding 4, add 4, which is 8. So if you just do that to the side, and then here you can write the mixed number. So 7 goes into 8 once, that's where they've got the whole number from. Then how do you get from 7 to 8? How many parts are left? Well, that's 1, isn't it? 1/7. And then here, look, you're just adding the whole number and the fraction together. So you're just doing 1 and 1/7. The only difference here is they've put an add sign here because they've separated the whole number and the fraction. So when it's got an equals, you're just putting the two next to one another. Okay, I just want to look at the work for today so I can show you what you exactly have to do. So we're adding fractions. The first question is 2/5 plus 4/5. So you need to do the improper fraction by adding the numerator, and then you need to convert it into a whole number, which has already been done for you, and how many parts are left over. So you're going to do how many 5s go into whatever that number is, and that looks like it's 1, and then how many parts are left over. Now here, where it's got the equal sign, you're just putting the whole number and the fraction together without the add sign. On B, again, you're adding these two together to give it an improper fraction, and then I want you to turn it into a mixed number fraction here. On this one, you're adding these two together to get an improper fraction. Then I want you to write the whole number and then the fraction separately. And then in this part, you're just writing the whole number and the fraction together. And then the second question, they're all structured a little bit differently, so have a look, but it's the same format. On question A, you're doing an improper fraction. It's not asking you to turn it into a mixed number. B, again, improper fraction. We don't need a mixed number. And C, an improper fraction. Don't put a mixed number. On D, you're adding these two up. Now, it's asking for the whole number and the fraction. What I would do is I would add these two together and maybe write it on the side to get your improper fraction, and then convert it into the mixed number and fraction. And then you just put the two numbers together there. Here, again, I would add these two together and do an improper fraction on the side. That's asking for the whole number and the fraction, and then putting them together. Same on here. Now here's a bit different because you've already got a whole number. So let me just model this one. You've got 2 whole numbers plus 3/9. Add 7/9. Okay, so this one is a little bit tricky because you've already got a whole number. So we just ignore the whole number for now, and we're going to add the fraction. So 3 add 7 is 10, and that would be 10/9. Okay? And then you've got your 2 whole numbers there. Right, what we need to do is convert this into a mixed number. So how many 9s go into 10? That is 1. And how many are left over? How many parts are left over from 9 to 10? 1. And we know the denominator is 9. So that's your mixed number. Now don't forget we've got 2 wholes over here. So now we need to add the 2 whole numbers together. 2 and 1 is 3. And then we've got 1/9 left over. Don't worry if you struggle on F, G, H up to J, because they're a bit more trickier, but at least try and do up to E. Okay, so just remember you're adding the numerator, the denominator staying the same, then it will be in an improper fraction. Then you turn the improper fraction into a mixed number. So how many of the denominator go into the numerator? That's your whole number. How many parts are left over? And the denominator stays the same. We will be on Google Classrooms today to help if you're stuck. If not, have a great day and I'll speak to you tomorrow. Bye.